Hey everybody, Amanda Trimpower here with another super simple, no editing, no budgeting video update. First of all, I want to say thank you for everybody who watched the previous video update and heard about the sickness that was in my family, the two really high fevers with my kids, and the ER trip and 911 calls and stuff like that. Kids are doing great. It's been like a week-ish, half a week even, and the fevers are gone. Congestion is pretty much gone too, so it was just one of those super short viruses that hit quickly but hit hard. So everybody is doing good, and the parents are finally caught up on sleep, which is amazing. So they're doing great. Thank you for your prayers. Book updates, which is the point of this. I reached a little milestone that I wanted to share. A couple nights ago, I finished my last, calling it my last me revision. These are changes that I have identified, weaknesses in the book, words that didn't run smoothly, sentences that need to be fixed, that sort of thing. All of those changes are done. I have done like 5-6 rounds of those types of edits, and each time my list of things to fix was getting shorter and shorter. Well, the list is gone now. I've also made all of my beta reader changes, and I believe there were 8 to 10 betas spaced out over the course of a couple months, and they all gave me excellent feedback, so I made those changes too. So anything that I can identify that needs to be fixed, and anything that my volunteer readers have identified that they thought should be fixed, all of those things are done. So that's really exciting. What comes next? That's what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about. What comes next is getting my book baby in the hands of somebody with more experience than me. So this is going to be a developmental editor. These are people who look at your manuscript and take a really big picture approach and be like, okay, is there anything wrong with the pacing? Are there any characters that are redundant? Are there plot holes that we need to address? These are all things that I tried to assess, and you should try to assess them as the author, but you just can't bring your book across the finish line yourself. You do need to have outside eyes. So that's going to be next for the book. That's probably going to take, 2 or 3 months to get it finished once it starts. When the developmental editing starts depends on a couple of factors, which I'm actually going to unpack in a different video update, because it's a very big change from how I thought I was going to do this. It's not going to be before July. My conference is in July, and I'm going to go and I'm going to pitch to the 2 people that I have meetings with. I'm really nervous but excited for that. And then after July, I have some decisions to make, and some of them are options that I have not considered before or been willing to consider before. So I am going to tell you about that, but that's a whole nother conversation. So just for right now, what's next with the book? Conference and developmental editing. Big picture, after the developmental editor is done, hopefully they're not going to come back with 17 pages of major changes, but at whatever point I am done processing their changes, then we go to another type of editor, and that's a copy editor, and they do grammarly things that you were taught about in school. Typos and grammar, and you used the wrong form of effect. It's smaller changes. So at some point that will happen, and then after that we go into production and marketing. That's gonna depend on some choices I make, which I'm gonna tell you about in the next update. But I just kind of wanted to give you a big picture look about where I'm at in the process and what's next. So there's that. I teased a couple of blog posts ago that I am working on a short story for early supporters. I'm actually working on 2 short stories for very early supporters. The first one is a short story about Will Scarlett and Elena doing shenanigans, and I know what it's about, but I don't want to tell you yet. The short story, I'm calling it a short story. It may actually be a novella. I don't know exactly how long. But it is going to be a full book. It's just going to be shorter. So real book cover, looks really nice. Real typesetting. The interior of the book looks nice. It's a digital book, and that's available to anybody at any time who goes and signs up on my author website to sign up for my newsletter. Doesn't currently exist. I'm working on it. But for the rest of the foreseeable future, at any point in time, if you come and sign up for my newsletter, that is my thank you to you. Free book. People who sign up right now, pre-existence of the book, of the Will Scarlet short story, as a thank you for signing up before I even had your gift ready, I'm working on another one for you. And this one is about Ellen and Alistair, the siblings who are just crazy about horses. That I'm going to work on after the Will Scarlet short story, but before I make any other major steps forward in the series life in general. So if you want free stuff, go sign up for my newsletter and you'll get 2 books out of the deal within the next several months. And that is pretty much all I have to tell you. I do, like I said, I do have one other thing that I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about. Just big shift in thinking that I am considering. But it's a whole nother conversation, and I think it'll better serve you to have it in 2 separate installments. So this was the quick and dirty update and the thumbs up that the kids are doing well and everybody is still alive, which is always a good thing. And then I will work on sharing my other thoughts with you in a few days or possibly next week. So have a great night, everybody.